The lost city dug up in Ethiopia is part of a mysterious empire that rivaled ancient Rome. I was surprised to see this, and their formal language was Greek, believe it or not, and we'll see this together. It's amazing. The little-known empire of Aksum. Now you know who was the prince of Ethiopia, 1400-500 BC. Moses. Moses of Exodus of the Old Testament was, of course, the child of the princess of Egypt, the Pharaoh's daughter, took in Moses and raised him as her son. And he was considered a prince of Egypt, and he was the prince of Ethiopia, as is stated in the Old Testament. So this lost city dug up in Ethiopia, the little-known empire of Aksum, believed to have been a sprawling metropolis dominating much of East Africa from the 1st century BC through all the way to 825 AD. It rivaled the Roman Empire in size and power. Archaeologists discovered a village in northern Ethiopia, once belonging to the thriving empire that rivaled the Romans. Researchers dug up a grid of stone walls and the remains of stone buildings in Beta Samati. It's a town believed to have existed from 771 BC to 645 AD. It was inhabited throughout the rise of the Aksum civilization. I'm wondering, as I'm referring to this, the Queen of the South, Queen of Sheba, where did she come from? We know she came from Ethiopia. And the Ethiopians even claim that they are the ones that have the true Ark of the Covenant, because it was given to her son. Her son was also called, was it David or Solomon? So supposedly she had a son with Solomon, and that they gave for safekeeping the Ark of the Covenant to the Ethiopians. They claim they have it. Anyway, researchers here have dug up a grid of stone walls and the remaining of stone buildings in Beta Samati, existing there 771 BC to 645 AD, and it was inhabited throughout the rise of the Aksum civilization. The archaeologists discovered the ancient buried town in Ethiopia. It was inhabited for 1,400 years. The town was part of a powerful civilization, the Empire of Aksum. It dominated East Africa, and we're going to see where it was. It's in today's Saudi Arabia, basically. It dominated the area in Africa, East Africa, for centuries, trading with other powers in Rome and all through the Silk Road. Michael Harrower was the lead author of the study, an associate professor of archaeology at Johns Hopkins University, and he stated in his press release, "The excavations of Beta Samati help fill important gaps in our understanding of ancient pre-Aksumite and Aksumite civilizations. The Beta Samati discovery and excavation of the Aksumite town was published for the first time in antiquity. The Aksumite civilization, despite prominence placed in the ancient world, remains a mystery to archaeologists even today. It partly explains why the discovery of the town of Beta Samati is very important, because findings dating to the kingdom of Aksum are surfacing in the Yaha region of North Ethiopia." Harrower also revealed that the town itself was found in 2009, but was not excavated before. Local residents played an important role in the current discoveries. He said local village elders have long recognized Beta Samati as an important historical place, but many of the specific details of the site's history seem to have been lost over time, and that's where archaeology can help clarify the area's history, he said. According to him, it was the locals who actually tipped them off to researching the site even further, as a name that the Tigrinya people have given to it, Beta Samati, House of Audience, that's what it means, in the local language, suggested it was a place of local administration where politicians were situated in association with the basilica. And we also have Beta Samati, knowing that it was first occupied by the pre-Aksumites around 750 BC. It was the regional center as the Aksumites took hold, remaining an important city after they converted to Christianity. with the help of the evangelist St. Mark. St. Mark, we know, was in charge of Egypt, and he was put there by as the first bishop of Egypt in the area by St. Peter. So he was, the place here was eventually abandoned hundreds of years later for some reason, around 650 AD. It was a breakthrough for the scientists, signs of all these stages can be traced in the discoveries. They found commercial buildings, homes, to even one of the oldest Aksumite Christian basilicas dated to the 4th century AD. So the team discovered evidence of glass, metal production, as well as signs of food processing and consumption in a complex of rectangular stone buildings. The research at Beta Samadhi is part of Southern Red Sea Archaeological Histories project launched in 2009. And the findings dug up here at Beta Samadhi seem to challenge the idea. Dr. Ioana Dumitru from Johns Hopkins, co-writer of the paper, said, Beta Samadhi is a very densely populated ancient settlement with both residential and religious structures, and it reveals important details about daily life of ancient Ethiopia, though it's built through its buildings and its artifacts. They converted from polytheism to Christianity, before that to Judaism, Christianity, and we'll look into what we have there, where it is. Let's see that together. This is on Sputnik News, and we're going to look at what we can find. Wikipedia is very rich with information. This is the ruins of the palace in Aksum. This is again the silver coin of Azana. They have steles as well, showing that their conversion was to Christianity. This is the king of Endivis Vasilevs, meaning king of this in Greek. Reading Greek, Endimis Vasilevs. Endimis Vasilevs. Okay, that's in Greek. The king was from 227-35 AD. Okay, and obviously that was their formal language. The ruin, one of the Al-Khalis church cathedrals. The Empire of Aksum, notable for a number of achievements, such as its own alphabet, the Ge'ez script, which is eventually modified to include vowels, becoming an ambiguous, okay, from early times. The empire around 1,700 years ago, giant obelisks to mark emperors and nobles' tombs, underground grave chambers constructed, and most famous of which is the obelisk of Aksum. That's amazing. 4th century AD, 79 feet tall, weighing 160 tons. It's ornamented with 2 false doors at the base, windows on all sides. Very strange. But they had the obelisk for the tombs of the kings. The Ethiopian evangelist portrait of Mark the Evangelist for the Ethiopian Garima Gospel 6th century. Amazing. Okay. Society, population consisted of Semitic-speaking people, known as the Haveshas, Cushitic-speaking people, and Nilo-Saharan-speaking people. Aksumites had modified fuel system to farm the land. And this is the location. The Silk Road, this is it right here. Let's see where, I think it's up here. Okay. This is it, where this is basically, this is Iran here, Saudi Arabia, Yemen. Okay, this is the area of the Ethiopian kingdom. Largely on the basis of Carlo Conti Rossini's theories, Aksum was previously thought to have been founded by the Sabaeans, who spoke the language of the Semitic branch of Afro-Asiatic language family. Evidence suggests Semitic-speaking Aksumites Semiticized the Ago people, who originally spoke other Afro-Asiatic languages. All right, family Cushitic branch. Jar spout, amazing. The empire, trading empire centered in Eritrea and northern Ethiopia, existing from approximately 100 to 940 AD, from the Iron Age Proto-Aksumite period, 4th century BC, achieving prominence the 1st century AD. According to the book of Aksum, first capital, Mesober, was built by Ethiopis, son of Cush. The capital was later moved to Aksum in northern Ethiopia. Kingdom used the name Ethiopia as early as the 4th century. And the empire, in its height, extended across present-day Eritrea, Ethiopia, Somalia, Djibouti, Sudan, Egypt, Yemen, and Saudi Arabia. All of this was the empire of Aksum. The city capital empire was Aksum, northern Ethiopia, today a smaller community, once bustling metropolis. This is the Ezana stone, shows, records Negus Ezana's conversion to Christianity and his subjugation of various neighboring peoples. That's a stele written in stone. Amazing. Some of their artwork. 14th century illustration showing the king of Aksum declining the request of a Meccan delegate to yield up the Muslims, it also known as the first Hegira. Okay. Amazing. And this is the economic importance of their Silk Road, southern spice, eastern trade routes, the sea routes around the Horn of Africa. The Indian subcontinent made Aksum an important trading port for nearly a millennium. So this is it. Amazing. All through Europe. And through Europe, of course, they would go to Britain as well. And this is Silk Road here. Amazing. Quite a big journey. A lot of ships must have been journeying all these routes. Amazing. So that's wonderful. I'm very glad to hear that. Covering parts of what is known northern Ethiopia, southern eastern Eritrea, Aksum was deeply involved in trade between India and the Mediterranean, Rome, later Byzantium, around here of course, exporting ivory, tortoiseshells, gold, emeralds, and important silk and spices. Aksum's access to both the Red Sea and the Upper Nile, I wonder how they got across the land, because they didn't have a canal there. I don't know how they did that. I guess they journeyed with camels. That's how they took their goods to the Mediterranean. How did they get to the Nile? I have no idea. Maybe they carried the ships and put them in the Nile River. I have no idea. Now, okay, Aksum's access to both Red Sea and Upper Nile enabled its strong navy to profit in trade between various African, Nubian, and Arabian, Yemen, and Indian states. I'd like to know how they got there. How did they do this? Okay, that was a land route, obviously. These are land routes, shipping. Obviously, they had camel caravans, and then they had other ships waiting for them in the Upper Nile. That's how they probably transported and reloaded from the ship to the camels, from the camels to the ships. That's why this is red. This is over land. Amazing, isn't it? I'll leave links below for you for this. Since YouTube has demonetized me again, I hope you consider supporting me on Patreon. If you'd like to keep contact, please send me your email. My email is below in the description box. Thank you so much for your support. Have a wonderful Christmas season. God bless you. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition, and the community around our church. Thank you.